Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. Hello there, it's Brad. The Empowerography Live Conference 2026 is happening live and in person for the first time here in Toronto in April of 2026. This is your chance to step fully into your power over 2.5 incredible days. You'll hear from 30 plus inspiring speakers, join hands-on workshops, and connect with women from around the world who are ready to grow, learn, and rise together. This isn't just an event. This is an experience that will leave you motivated, empowered, and ready to take action. Seats are limited, so head to my website and secure your spot today. All the information will be in the show notes, and we look forward to seeing you in April. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast, a platform that was created to help elevate and amplify the voices of women through sharing their stories. Today, my guest is Susan Ibitz. She is an author and researcher of the book Irrational Humans. People make 35,000 decisions a day, and 95% of them are irrational, but why and how? She's also a former political influence consultant, a profiler, and civilian hostage negotiator with expertise and studies in the masters in human behavior economics and neuroscience. And she's just an all-around badass woman. So welcome, Susan. How you doing today?
How you doing? Thank you for having me. And I was late, fashionable late. I'm going to be late for my own funeral, so welcome to the club.
It's all good. We are here now, and that's all that matters. I cannot wait. Thank you so much for taking and making the time to be here with me today. I am so excited to have you, Susan, and so excited to jump in and share about all the incredible things you do, a bit about your story and your journey. So with that being said, let's get this party started. So let's go way back, Susan. I would love for you to share, before the world knew you as a profiler, as a negotiator, a behavioral scientist, who were you as a kid? And what early moment made you first realize that humans are different than they appear?
I was talking with one of the people that I admire the most in this business is Jana Monroe. She is the original. She's the person who coached Jodie Foster for The Silence of the Lambs. And I'm actually doing the introduction today with you. And we have two things in common. We weren't these people when we were kids. And I talked to another people too, that we were bullied before we went helping people how to not that happen. Second of all, we both have a father who spent quality time with us watching Columbo and fighting what Columbo is doing, how they're doing, and where are they doing. So I was a timid, thin, tall girl. I was size 10 on my shoes and 5'7" at the age of 9.
Wow.
So I was a stick, timid, tried to hide being the tallest on. So they used to put me on the class of the oldest. I'm in that class. But you're too tall. I know. It was a table. Like nothing happened. This happened later. And thank you to surgery too. So it was a table, thin, stick, like a pause. I was bullied all my time. But thank God we're coming from a generation and turning 54 and heck, fuck. I should say that out loud. But it shows that I'm really seasoned in this situation. When you come home and says, I was bullied, and says, what is your black eye? It's not that instigate violence, but they instigate to defend yourself, to step out. So you have two options. They give you tools. Yeah. Or they give you a funeral. My parents decided to give me tools. So his quality time was teaching me how Columbo, how to think, and how to see people in a different way. And you always have a backdoor entry to get to people. So at early age, I understand that everybody have a door of entry. I find out what is the window. So I find the window that is open. So with bullies, I was a nerd. I was the one who have submitted the papers early. They knew the most and says, oh, you have an F. I have an A+. If you stop bullying me, I'm going to help you with the papers. And I always start running with the A players, with cool guys on the school because of that. But not because I was a cool person. I Later in life, I learned Machiavelli and Sun Tzu. They're my two Bibles. I'm Jewish. That is my Torah. Is that surround yourself with the people you want to be seen and surround with the people who you want to be with. In early life, as a survivor mechanism, I did that naturally. That I translate that in business and politics and everything done. I'm really transactional and really cut edge with the people that I surround myself. If every time that you text me or call me is to ask me for something, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm a godfather. I do service to everyone. But if I pick up the phone and you don't reply, you're dead to me.
Wow.
Mafangul. I'm half Calabrese and half Calabrese. That is not the same Italian, half Jewish. I'm born and raised in South America. What do you expect? My grandfather needs to leave Calabria. My grandfather needs to leave Calabria because he took the eye of a man who was checking on his girlfriend. Duh, I'm legally out of the hook.
The Godfather. I love it. The bullying, though, I was bullied as a kid as well. And it's a tough thing to go through, but I love that you found the window to get in and to help yourself through that. The tools that your parents gave you, that your father showed you. Columbo. Love the reference, Columbo. Amazing.
Play dumb. One of the things that I find with women when come to me and says, about 7-8 years ago, we hired an agency because I was not breaking on the market.
Right.
And the guy says, you address and raise this in the wrong way. Like, why? Men are not your audience. No, your audience are women. Women hate me. That is because it's your audience. They hate you, but they love you. They have this conflicted, and you should know better. Yeah, but not to the point. 35 to 65 years old women are the ones who like you. Why? Because you talk in a way that other women, they don't talk. And then we came to the Me Too movement and DEI and all the things. And that where my things start getting conflicted because you're not using your best asset, being a woman. Play dumb. Play dumb in the room. Nobody is going to expect you. But if you come to the room wearing your paint suit and aggressive, people is not going to pay attention to you. Why? Because they know you are the target. You are not the person they need to attack. So play dumb. When I walk in a room, for the way I dress, for the way I want, the way I present myself, everybody thinks that I'm the second wife from an old dude about to pass out and me stealing the billions. And they don't expect me to come. So I'm not a threat on the room because nobody pay attention. Now I'm more well-known and things, but still I can get away with that. But the first impression, people don't think, oh, she's going to be a profiler or she's an expert manipulator, influence, persuasion, whatever you want to call it. It's the same. Different taste, same meat. So, yeah, you put a different sauce, but it's the same meat on the back. You can make tacos, a steak, or enchilada. It's the same meat.
Yes.
So let's put it that way. That is one of the things that get me people hate me or love me. But guess what? When you hate me since the beginning, you make me a favor. When you love me since the beginning, you make me a favor. Guess what? You're not going to call me. You're not going to want to work with me. You're not going to want to take my classes. You're not going to consume my information. Why? Why do I want 1 million followers that they don't get it? And I need to keep convincing them to buy my products because at the end of the day, I'm not the Red Cross. I have a company. I have a few companies. So if you don't like me, now, if you're a dead horse and you want to win the Derby, guess who you need to call? The person you don't like, but the person you trust.
Love it. So what was one of your first experiences that made you say, I need to understand what people aren't saying as much as what they are saying?
I didn't know that I have Asperger until the age of 37, 38. I always get confused with the years. So I did find out that I have dyslexia when I was 17 because I graduated early from high school because at the age of 15, I didn't know I was a really good negotiator. All my parents were too busy between them. They don't pay attention. But it says, high school go too slow. So I went back to, I took a year sabbatical. If I ever question my parents' education, that is one of the first points. Yeah, it doesn't work. I went to the library, and when I ran out of audiobooks, I went to the blind library, and oh my God, all these tapes! I can read everything that I want. So I grabbed the book from one library, went to another, asked for the tapes, and learned. And one point I said, "Okay, I'm ready." When I come back from high school, they says, "We don't want her before. We don't want her now. She's annoying." welcome to my club. I'm too intense. And I graduated when I was 16. In South America and Argentina, you're not allowed to go to college until you're 18.
Okay.
So I went a year early. And in the beginning, they believed that I wasn't developing maturity. They didn't call it EQ at that point, mature to be on a class with adults, until one of the teachers, the head of Introduction to Psychology, was studying psychology and law. And he says, I think there's something else here. Your papers are horrible, but when you present verbally, you're really good.
Mhm.
So I was diagnosed with highly dyslexia, and says academic is not going to be in your life. So you're not going to be a profiler from the FBI, and I get kicked out. So those are the earliest. Okay, it looked like some people get to the destination in first class, and some people need to swim like a shark. I swim
You.
like sharks. So at the age of 17, and I emancipated myself, I went to Belgium and I started working on a prostitute high-end hotel bar. And those were my first teachers, and I'm so grateful for it. And lately, I'm saying it out loud because people are so critical. Like, those women of the night know more about behavior than any hostage negotiator that I met in my life. And guess what? Maya Angelou was a prostitute too. When she says people is going to remember, know what you says, is not going to remember how you say it, is how you make them feel.
Yeah.
What do you think is coming from? So I never was one. I tried to get on the business and they protect me. Nope. He says, but you're making $5,000 a night 35 years ago for something people do free. Nope. So they protect me. They teach me. They teach me what is all money, new money, body language, how people interact. And as soon in life, I understand people have three needs. They want to be seen, heard, and understood. People don't cheat because of the sex. People don't date someone because of the sex. People don't go out of their way because of the sex. People want peace, future, and money. And a prostitute, you know what is going on since the beginning. They give you peace. They tell you what you want to hear, how you want to hear it. They don't give you a hard time.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, women. Play dumb. Understand the peace in the balls of your partner in front of everyone is not going to work. Be the brain behind, be the second brain behind the success. Either you're a man or either you're a woman. Learn to do that. But if you can fulfill those three needs in people, it's done. I always say, what is going on? How you doing? Tips are not included. You want more drinks. And we need to understand the bartender, 30, oh my God, it's going to be 30, oh God, I'm 354. I stopped doing the math, 37 years. I don't have a problem with age. I feel better today. It's like I do numbers and I know people who's younger than I have an experience. It's crazy. I have people working with me that is 35, 34.
Yeah.
It wasn't even on the picture when I was started having experience. That's how we work. It's basic. We tend to complicate conversation. Everybody want to learn, let's talk. I have a class called Let's Talk. It says, when I want to have difficult conversations, maybe you're the difficult person to have conversations with. What about we start having a conversation?
Yeah, just have the conversation. Exactly. It is very basic, but human beings have to all the time complicate the shit out of everything. It's really not that hard. It's not that hard. We just want to, as you said, we just want to be seen, heard, and understood. Those are very basic needs to have as a human being, and they're not hard needs to meet.
Humans are not complicated, they're complex. And the reason I specialize in irrational humans is because I'm the most irrational person in the world. I married a psychopath that no one did talk. We're talking about 15 years ago. He was declared borderline narcissist before it was cool. I have 6 cats and more than 850 pair of shoes, and I live in the middle of nowhere because I don't like people. Could you be more irrational? No. So I fascinated. So my second master, I did my thesis and my 2 loves, wine and music. And I did this experiment in a couple of wineries. When you pair, supposedly this is the wine, this is the music. If the wine is for France, and I put French music, I can increase your sales 330%. Why? Because just your brain works that way. And that's what always fascinated me. You need to understand we are irrational. When you stop fighting with that, when you stop fighting with the reality, now when you can accommodate that reality to you and what you need. So let's start with this. I have folders and absolutely everybody in my life. Birthday, kids, playgrounds, what you don't do, my clients. My lawyer have a folder for every time that I'm going on a date with a guy, we go to FBI commando. So if you're going to date me, be clear. I know your social security number. My lawyer had it before I'm going out in case something happened. You never know. Knocking wood, I'm going to have a serial killer. I tend to attract crazy people. But when I'm going to talk to them, I check in my calendar on Sundays and I'll go to my closet. What I'm going to be wearing, what I'm going to have. I don't like wasting time. I'm not a high maintenance. I don't like wasting time in things that are needed. And I go through my folders and who I'm going to meet. You don't expect me to remember everything about you, not because you're not important, it's because life happened when you're too busy making plans.
Yes.
So I check your folder and I become with 3 bullet points about the conversation. How I'm going to break the ice, how I'm going to do small talk. I hate small talk, and it's proven hurt your brain on the same places that a physical pain hurt. And knowing that, I know that I'm going to do the small talk, move faster to things that are interested to you. I'm manipulating the situation? No, I'm simplifying the pain to talk with people that for me is painful. So I can teach you how to do the same way. Complicated conversation coming because you don't know how to handle conversation. So stop going, I want to handle difficult conversation and move to you're complicated and difficult to talk with. And people is a reflection of what you do.
Love it. So having built a career, you can read people very quickly, decode them. What is one truth about human behavior that most people are terrified to admit, even to themselves?
They're flawed. They have flaws. They're not perfect. We live in a society where everything is online. Everything is perfect. You need to be skinny, sexy, your skin like, you're terrified of your flaws and people can see those things. And actually, I was reading a study last week. Now I'm taking a month sabbatical to write my first book. Don't even tell me. It's like I've been putting that up for 7 years. I finally meet editors says, you're going to get fired January 1st if I don't do it. But I was reading that with all the AI, Z generation, that is my new target, Z generation between 18 and 28 love face reading. So they follow me like crazy. It's crazy. I have the kids and I have the moms now. So everything is so AI, so difficult to your brain identify the uncanny effect. They're getting out of the media and making an effort to know people in a natural way. So what's happened now is that we have generations who Botox, you cannot recognize their faces. It's like a factory. Everybody looks like Kim Kardashian. Everybody's fake. You don't know what is AI. I'm afraid to watch news. I'm stop scrolling for fun because I never know if the cat is really hurt. Is something put up with? I cannot deal with that. And a lot of people happen the same.
Yeah.
So we have something called the pratfall effect. Is how authentic and how imperfect you are is how connect you with people. If you're too perfect, I don't want to be with someone who have the shit together because I don't have my shit together. People come to me because they don't have the shit together. So the fact that I didn't have it for so long, then I understand what are the pitfalls you go in your life is making me a better to understand and go and walk with you what you need, not what I want to sell you. So these studies show that they have the same person 2 different days on a mall, showing how a blender works. So the first day she was doing smoothies and everything was perfect. Nothing went wrong. So they have 100 blenders to sell. They sell 2 or 3. The second day, the same person wasn't so perfect with all the things get together. And when she topped, the blender went all over the place. So she thought, so everybody ran to help her. And guess what? They bought more blend, sold more. So with this says, where you're perfect and I feel imperfect, I will not going to go to you because I'm going to feel that you see my imperfections and that's things that you don't want to see. You need to I make a career of my imperfection. And people says, how? I says, I have Asperger. Until I was 38, I was under impression I have alcohol syndrome because my mom was an alcoholic. I was all over the place because my parents were moving all the time. I never have. So I learned how to read people and communicate with people in a different way. I took all those things and I made a career. My failures are my best victories. Those are my badges. Not my scars, not my tattoos. My failures are my badges. So people come to me and I understand why women like me because I own it. And guess what? When you turn 40, you realize the cellulite and a little belly is not going to get away a man. It's when you piece the roles off. People, again, you're not going to find a partner for sex. You find a partner because he gives you peace. You understand that you surround yourself with people who give you peace, who you want to be around. When you see a smile when the phone rang, that is the people you want to be with. So you're too perfect, you're too picky, you're too retain. Guess what? You're going to be one of the people that when I see your number, I'm going to turn the phone and says, no way, it's not happening today.
Yeah, I mean that those imperfections create relatability because nobody's fucking perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. It doesn't exist.
And who want to be?
Exactly.
Brad?
I agree with you 1000%. But it's these, especially on social media, these people want to portray this beautiful, perfect life they're living, and it's all bullshit. People cannot relate to that. As you said with your example around the blenders, you fuck up, you make a mistake, your failures, whatever you want to call them. That's relatability because we all fuck up. We all make mistakes. People want to be able to relate to other people, and that's how you do it. Part of the way.
I think I'm re-recording here because it's the only place in my flat in London that is not a fucking mess. So if I move the camera, I was like calibrating the camera because I have clothing on the living room. I have a mess all over the place. It's vacation. Like, okay, give me a second, bro. I need to look like a thing. And I realize I have a fluffy lip. Yeah. But I don't want to be with somebody who's perfect. There, another profiler says, oh, if you don't do your bed every day, I will not going to be work with you. Guess what? I haven't done my bed in 7 years. Guess what? I'm menopausal. Happens something called sweating at night. I cannot make my bed because it's wet in the morning and I needed to let it dry. I have 2 beds in my house, depending how sweaty it is. That's life.
Yes, that's it. That's it. And it, like you said, owning your shit. It's okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm not for everyone. Thank God.
That's okay. Nobody is for everyone, and everyone's not for us. That's the way it goes. So, having worked in politics, worked with powerful people, if you stripped away the titles, money, resumes, ego, what is the one behavior that separates powerful leaders from powerless pretenders, from fakes?
That is a good one. I can spot a winner a mile away when you get on the room. And it's not the body language, it's the willingness to try. And that's, I have 3 things that I learned from politics. I can take a dead horse and make it win the derby. I was told that, I remember the first campaign that I ran by myself, I was 24. It says, oh my God, we hired Darth Vader. Yes. And after that, the same person says, you're never going to have I was tired one night and says, oh, don't worry, you're not even going to have a heart attack. You need to have a heart for that to happen. Well, thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah, but the truth to be told, that's the way you need to be. There's something called paternalism in politics, is that as a parent, you're not asking your kids what is the best way to educate them. You don't ask your kids if they agree to eat the broccoli. You need to give them the broccoli.
Right.
So the person who's willing to do the job, the person who understands they don't know, the person is willing to listen to the person that nobody want to hurt, that is the winner. I can smell it. And I have worked with people and says, nope, you're not a winner. I was calling a campaign and I see hire the pacifier, hire the tension, because I need to be really careful not to give away too much information, but it was one of the best cases. I asked several questions when I'm going to see a candidate, and I asked to have 48 hours full disclosure with me. And says, what do you mean? I need a floor in a hotel, 2 rooms adjoined with the Secret Service on the middle of security in the middle, nobody else. Why? It says, I need to push to see how hard I can push before I break. So it says, why? Because if I can break them, are breakable. I need to know all your dirty laundry, what is hiding before babies out of it, what kind of sex you like, how you like it, what porn you watch. I'm like, I need to know those things to know who you are. I need to make a campaign around who you are. I cannot adapt you cannot adapt to the campaign. We need to make the campaign around you. And we're talking about judges, senators, so eat it. You want to be a CEO? You want to be a judge? Guess what? That's the people you call, because I make a campaign around your defects to make you human. And I remember that going around, and the first thing is have you ever Googled yourself, or have you ever registered your name? And he says, no, why? He says, because I registered your name and it's a porn site, and you're a Republican, hardcore church Republican,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a website under your name. It's a deviation of your name, but it's in your name. And your name is taken. There's no legally way we can get it. Why you never thought about it? Why your communication campaign? Where is their fault? No. If you're going to start blaming people, it's not going to work. So for that reason, I will not going to be working with you. And at the end of the day, I'm going to present my report and explain why. The guy talked BS about me, about everyone, the communication people, blah, blah, and says, I'm going to send you with somebody else who maybe is more PR expert in crisis. We don't have a crisis. You never hear about the candidate who have a porn site under his name, no? It didn't work. Why? Because people need to understand that in order to be a CEO, a judge, the partner on a law firm, whatever you want to become, you need to be clear about your past, your present, and your future, and you need to own it. My proposal was that I cannot use my website because of that and that. Says he was a hard Republican and Christian and have the church supporting. Church is not going to support you. So you need to go and says the church is not supporting me because somebody else made a mistake that has nothing to do with me. He didn't want to own it. The wife didn't want to own it. Besides, he have a little more dirty laundry on the back that the website was nothing compared. But if he would own it, guess what? He couldn't be the person who established the first law about domains, about internet. We were just on the moment that internet was blooming. It was on the beginning of the 2000s. Internet was blooming. He couldn't have been the first person who did that. It wasn't managed the right way.
Wow.
Remember the woman in the beginning of 2000s in Texas that was wearing pink tennis shoes? And she was trying to defend abortion, and she spoke in front of the Senate. I think it was the Senate. I don't remember now. For 13 hours, she ran 2 political campaigns after, and she lost. It was not because she wasn't good. It's because the person who ran the campaign want to get away from what she did instead to go and get all the people. So you can be the best, but if you don't have a good person capitalize on what you have and you're willing to do the job, it's not going to happen. So 3 things. I can smell a winner and you know who's a winner and a loser. Second of all, willing to do the job. And third of all, to understand that your imperfections make you a great candidate. Nobody impeached Clinton. Nobody impeached Trump because the economy was good. Like, America, get a reality shot. I love America. It's my country. I'm a citizen for a long time. Let's get a reality show. Fucking people don't care. Weinstein, Elon Musk. You make money, you get people peace, future, and money. Guess what? You're a candidate.
You're in. Yep. Own your shit.
Yeah.
Own your shit. It's pretty simple. Like you said, to your point, if that guy had just owned his shit, said, because it wasn't he wasn't doing anything wrong. It's just, yes, my name is associated with this, but it's not me. It's not me that's doing this. So that's pretty simple.
Oh, for you and me. And we need to understand that it's on the stake these people are. The thing is completely different, Jose. So and he was so worried about compelling and to please everyone that he avoided the elephant in the room. And it's as soon as it says, don't think about the pink elephant, you're going to be thinking about the pink elephant.
Yes.
But if you know how to say, you saw the pink elephant. Now that we have a pink elephant in the room, we have a pink elephant problem. Let's find out how we can avoid the pink elephant. Now, I make you aware, I utilize that information, and that information utilized, and use it in my way, dividing the waters. You have red, blue, and purple. So the purples are my people. The purples are in the middle. When I'm going to say, hey, we have a pink elephant, and guess what? We need to address the pink elephant, and you can help us to address the pink elephant. Now we're going to move you to the blue or to the red. The problem today, we have red, blue, pink, purple, orange, green. We have too many things, and it's a mess because the red and the blue are not getting the things together. Guys, somebody hire me back. I miss that.
Do you miss the political world? Yeah.
Oh, God, like nothing. I don't miss to be married. I miss to be in politics.
Really?
I miss the adrenaline. I didn't miss the trips. Now the things would be different. I've been working on some things the last 3 or 4 years, having some fun. And says, wait a minute, you're working in politics for fun? Like, yeah, I miss that. I miss where people hire me for my ego, no, my boobs. But It's different. You can talk about the things that you can talk, and nobody need to be politically correct, but I miss the adrenaline. I miss to make things happen. I'm a fixer. I'm an obsessed with my work. I love what I do. And I love when people says, this is your check, get your things done. That's it. I don't need to go to HR. I don't need to make sure that nobody's offended. I just get it up. I'm a doer. I'm a
Just
fixer.
get it done. Yeah.
Get it done.
What have you seen is one of the most common self-deception high achievers cling to, and why is it so hard for them to let it go?
I think it's tied to all the questions before about imperfections. High achievers, we need to understand the different high achievers and low achievers. If you allow me, Brad, to
Yes,
explain.
of course. Yes, please do.
Because there's so misunderstanding, like crossing your arms, I don't like you. If you look to the right, you look to the left. Number 3 is a lie. We have too many people talking on the basement, don't knowing what they do. That the reason people on our age is more influencer than somebody in their 20s is that we have two kind of people. We have high achievers and have low achievers. Lower achievers in your team and around you can affect 40% of your team with 20 minutes interaction in a 25-feet round. So you put one person that is low achiever in same room, not in the same meeting, in the same room with your people, and 25 minutes later, 40%. So if you have 10 people, 4 are done. If you have 5, 2.5 are wasted. Now, if you have a higher achiever, it's only 15% the people they can influence around. Now, people confuse higher low achiever with underdogs. Underdogs is Google, underdogs is Microsoft, underdogs is Amazon, underdog is all these people do nobody pay attention. Then now they sell those apps in $2 billion and you don't know who they are. Those are the underachievers. Those are the underdogs. So high achievers, they used to be underdogs. I don't know any high achiever who wasn't an underdog. So when they made it, the reason they failed, and if you look at it, neither of those high achievers, underdogs, successful, are the CEOs of the companies. So because you invented the cell phone doesn't mean you're going to be great. What happened with BlackBerry? Somebody remember something called BlackBerry?
Yes, I remember those.
And BlackBerry was what we used to use in politics. Nothing safer than a flip phone and a keyword. I never used long nails, but it was the best of the world. That reason I still use keywords. They were underdog. They were higher achiever. They thought, who the heck want to check internet and see pictures on their phone? People don't want to. 2007, Steve Jobs came out with the iPhone. Instagram show up. The rest is history.
Yeah.
What happened with Netflix and Blockbuster? Blockbuster was the underdog.
Yeah.
They were the overachiever. What happened? Netflix, another underdog, says people pay more money and high fees than making life simple. And Blockbuster says that's how we make the money. 2 years later, not 2 decades later, Blockbuster went down. Netflix is keep growing and growing. So I think one of the problems is thinking that because you invented the powder, you are safe and nobody going to make better bullets.
Yeah.
You need to keep listening to the underdogs. I always bring people who are better than I am. I surround myself with people who's way more intelligent and kick my ass and make me to go further and further. That's the reason I'm going my 3rd master. And people, why? Because I'm surrounded with younger people with new ideas and teaching me things about AI, agents. I mean, I can have somebody do that for me. Susan, what are you doing? You don't need to reply your emails. You do this and this. And now I'm talking to a thing in my computer that is mimicking. So I have a conversation with AI. I start getting, I think I'm going to marry you. And I says, you can. I'm your bot. I'm getting your thoughts. Like, yeah, but you get me better than anyone. Yeah, bitch, because I'm you. And oh my God, you're so well trained. So I'm training this to reply my emails and make sure that it's me, but I don't have enough hours during the day to do things. So overachiever, to synthesize, because I'm going all over the place, synthesize. You were an underdog to become an overachiever. So surround yourself with the people that you were someplace and you want to be. But the people who doesn't do that, they're afraid that somebody else is going to take their place. And guess what? The cemetery is full of heroes. They're not going to remember.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it.
And the business life is full of more of them. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say it's so important about who we surround ourselves. What do they say? Surround people. The
It's
five
not
people.
African. It's not the African proverb, actually coming from Machiavelli, the prince. Surround yourself with the people that you want to be seen as.
Yes.
And present yourself as the people want to perceive you. Somebody says, oh, you're actually coming from the 6th degree of Milton on the 60. You see my brain. So Milton on the 60 did Q experiment, and he gave the Kevin Bacon 6th degree. So people come out with, you are 6-degree distance from somebody else. So 6 degree from Kevin Bacon. I haven't found mine. I have 1 degree from Bacon in my fridge, but not from Kevin Bacon. So that come out that you are the sum of the 5 people in your personal and business life, but actually coming from Machiavelli. So don't criticize people like me. Everything coming from manipulation. How do you, okay, lady, come on, talk to me. How you make your husband buy you that purse? How you make your kids eat broccoli? Let's be clear. You manipulate people.
There you go. That's it. Manipulation.
Own it. I didn't wake up this way. I manipulate my face, I put board oil. I manipulate my image to look the best for you, Brad, because you deserve it. So
thank you. Thank you. I received that. You look fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. Why it took you so long? It was 37 minutes. Dude, it took you so long to say it. I was expecting more from you.
I told you before we even got on air that you look amazing. So,
but no one aired. We're in the media. We need to say publicly.
That's true. Okay, for my own protection, I did tell Susan before we got on air and started recording how magnificent she looked. But
I'm giving you a hard time.
No, I'm owning my shit. I should have said it. You're right. I should have said it so people could hear. Absolutely. I waited 37 minutes in. Here we are. I'm owning it publicly. Thank you for the check. Keeping me in check. Susan, what has your work shown you about human nature that most people never really want to know?
That we're all irrational. That we all have the same basic needs. That we're rational. No matter how successful you are, you have the same needs. Robin Williams, they commit suicide. They're the epitome of success. I was talking with one of my last ex, and it says, hey, you didn't call me on Saturday. And says, yes, I found out that my best friend took his own life on Wednesday. Like, X and Y, like, what? And he says, how he was so successful. Like, when was the last time you talked with him? He says, I don't recall. He was isolated. He didn't know how bad it was. So during the pandemic, I was really bad. Coming from a long history about doctor malpractice, people malpractice. I have an accident. I broke my neck. I was in a wheelchair. I need to learn to walk again. When it was a lawsuit, a lot of doctors took advantage. They gave me the meds they shouldn't. They fried my immune system. I bled for 19 months.
Jesus.
It was terrible. I have early menopause in March 2020, living on the forest. Hello. So for 17 months, I wasn't treated. So I have a high number of days that I didn't sleep. I have like chronic insomnia. Then I was hospitalized two times to put me to sleep for how bad it was. I was taking psychedelics. I was taking whatever shit you put in front of me. You don't realize how important is sleeping until you don't do it. And that's where I realized that a lot of people that I was in the impression were my friends. They used that to destroy my career, destroy my name. And a lot of people criticize without knowing what has happened. And says, we need to understand everybody goes to something you don't know. Don't buy what is on the media. Ask questions. People don't always share. I learned to share after the things happen, but I learned not to share during the things happen. Not everybody needs to know what is going on. Not everyone needs to be in your business. You need to be careful where and with whom you share your things, because hurt you with the things you say or not say. But the people you trust, go to them. And before you're going to be so easy and says, oh, she's a bitch. Welcome. Now, but ask me why and how.
Yeah. Yep.
And says, why you are the way you are is because I'm tired to be walk all over. So I put a barricade before people do that. And I want people who's willing to do the job to become the best version of what I can give you to yourself. Not the best version of myself, because I'm not there yet, never going to be. is the version of yourself. You never know what people is going on. Stop buying on the media. Everybody get depressed. Elon Musk crawl in a baby position. Jeff Bezos crawl in the baby position. Look what ended up, nothing wrong, but Sanchez, as a wife, Sanchez, you are way more than boobs and plastic surgery. Lady, put up. Come on. Don't be a baby doll. But the truth to be told is, look what happened. You think that people are going to make the more rational decisions. They're like, no, people are primary. And we need to understand this between men and women. It is a different.
Yes.
I cannot do the same things that a man does. I don't either want to stop other women. Stop telling the society that I can do the same things. No, I not only have a broken neck, I cannot lift more than 8 pounds for my accident. So I need a man who take my trash. So stop selling that I can take the trash in the same way. I can. I cannot change my own tire. I make money to have somebody to change the tire. So we need to understand women use 14 to 16 part of their brain to make decisions. Men do 4 to 6. Sometimes I need to the 4 to 6, and sometimes I need to the 14 to 16. We need both.
Yes.
It's not, I can do the same. Men cannot have babies, and women can choose not to have babies. Women cannot lift the weight, make the physical things the men they do, neither they want to. We need to understand that all this craziness go to the extreme is coming to a level, and understanding that we have differences, and it's okay with that.
Yes, the obvious physical differences, but men and women are different, period. You can't deny that. We are different. We have physiological differences. And
I don't want to be with a dude with the boobs. If you have bigger boobs than myself, no, I don't want to be with you. Hello. I want to be the big boobs. I want to be the sexy in the relationship. I don't want somebody who has better boobs than I have. But hell no. Who wants?
You make me laugh, Susan. I love this.
It's true.
You said that leaders aren't born, they're made. What's the single hardest truth or lesson someone must swallow before they can ever step into any position of real influence?
There is a nurture versus nature. And I'm going to tell you this. You can be born liking to play with, remember the game, The Doctor, the surgeon? That
Operation?
You get a plier,
Yes.
Operation. Plier.
Yep.
So a lot of kids, I want to be a surgeon. Okay, let's wait until you see blood in real life.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to be a surgeon. I'm going to just sell medical equipment. So you're born with certain tendencies. And actually, Dr. Kiel from New Mexico, he is a psychiatrist that is doing working on this jail. He have the biggest database on sociopaths and psychopaths. The difference between the CEO of a company and Jeffrey Dahmer is the environment. Ed Kemper, one of my favorite serial killer, and I know I'm going to get him on the wall with this, was Ed Kemper. You need to Einstein to get the IQ that Ed Kemper has. 140, 160. Brilliant. Jana says that is more than nurture versus nature. No matter what you have done, he would be a serial killer. But the environment they put you on has a lot to do.
Right.
So you want to be a leader, you want to be a surgeon, take it out of the leadership so it's more understandable. You want to be a surgeon, you like doctors, you like to play doctor. Now you need to put through the training. And sometimes people who didn't want it to be played with operation when they're 5 years old, they're very doctors because they understand the work they need to be put. Because you want to be a doctor doesn't mean that you're able to be a doctor.
True.
But allowing yourself to put the effort to be the doctor, that make you the best surgeons. All the doctors that I have worked with when they have lawsuits, because 78% of the lawsuits with doctors doesn't come because the doctor is bad, it's because they have a bad side manner. So guys, call me. I can teach you how to talk with people like they're people. When I talk to them, it says, well, you care when I was 5 years old. And when I know about you, I wanted to see, it should be a human behind that badass.
Yeah.
You're an asshole. I look for the human behind. None of them, the most successful, none of them, they want to be a doctor when they were kids. They want to fix things. They want to be a fireman. They want to be a policeman. None of them want to be a robber. Nobody wants to be a doctor. No, none of them want to be a badass. But you need to understand that in order to become the best surgeon in the world and look straight forward to a mother, you're never going to have a kid again, you need to have a tight ass. And that require effort, that require education. They require a certain pedigree of DD attached to things, and there are consequences. But if you're not willing to put the work, nobody going to get a PhD because just they want it. Nobody, and let's put it this, watching movies, watching shows about losing weight and being watching with French fries not going to make your ass skinny, bitch.
No.
So
You have
I
to
want
put
to
in
be
the work.
skinny.
Mhm.
So I want to be skinny, but if I'm popping pop, so it's the same way. Let's put it this way. You want to be skinny, you want all to watch the show, you buy all the elements. You ever left the sofa to do it? No. You're never going to be a leader.
That's right. It's not going to happen. You have to do the work. Like you said, just because you want to do something doesn't mean you will, that it will happen.
I want to be taller. Some of us have improved it. So far, me too is high heels. That's it. The same.
There you go. So you are taller when you're wearing high heels.
Yeah.
What's one thing you believe about human behavior that 90% of the experts would argue with you, but you know from lived experience that it's undeniably true?
Everybody's capable to kill. Everyone. Give me the right circumstances. Everybody is able to be manipulated. Absolutely everyone. Everybody in my field has been manipulated by a partner, a business partner, or their kids. I don't know anybody who haven't been manipulated. So if you think you're not willing to kill, if you think you're not willing to be brainwashed, if you're not willing to say a false confessions, you haven't seen yourself on the mirror, or yours is too dirty. Clean it.
Wow. Plain and simple. That's it.
I can explain if you want to go deeper, but that's the 3 points that people misunderstand.
Sure. Explain it. I'd love to hear more.
How everybody can kill.
Mhm.
Touch my cats and you're going to prefer to have cancer. Your dog, you're a father, your daughter come in the morning, not know what happened. The underwear is turned upside down, who you were last night.
Mhm.
Next call is the police because you killed someone.
Yeah.
No matter how civilized. So it's not what you're willing to do, is how much people can push you. Regarding false confessions, in the 90s, unfortunately, the read technique, by the way, uncertified read technique, because you need to understand the devil inside the devil, it have two part of the confessions. The first part, the behavioral part, is really good, but the second one, it's forced to false confessions. So until the DNA in the late 90s come up to the picture and get people out of jail, when somebody confessed to a crime they didn't commit, juries, how are you going to confess something you didn't commit? Mm-hmm. There's come up Elizabeth Lockwood showing with studies, then I can convince you about everything if I know how to do it. I convinced myself that I was in a happy marriage. How many things you convince yourself you're happy about it?
True.
And now we're talking about brainwash and manipulation. And another thing is, people can make you do things that you're not agree. When people says, oh yeah, people who are being sex trafficking or human trafficking are ignorant. Let me tell you, if you make over $1 million and you're so busy going to the club and pampering clients, your daughter and son are more propense to be human trafficking victims. Why?
Jesus.
Because somebody's going to give them the love and things basic you didn't give them attention. So there is so misconception because people prefer to be ignorant and their own ignorance. I don't judge, but shut up. If you're willing to do the job and willing to learn, I work with a lot of institutions that help women with domestic violence and human trafficking. None of them. I know a person that I love and adore and I respect because she has freaking cojones. And I'm going to introduce her, so I don't want to tell the story. But she ended up joining a Nazi movement because her ex-husband treated her kids. And the only place she feels safe and he was afraid were the Nazis. Wow. So it was less complicated to join the Nazi propaganda to feel safe. So the next time you say, oh, shut up, tell me about you and the things you put up every day because you're afraid to commit with the reality. So you're willing to kill, you're willing to confess things that you're not doing, and you're willing to, you can be brainwashed. Yeah. So don't be so easy to criticize others. I says everything that is perfect, I don't trust you.
Yeah. As you said earlier, you don't know what someone's going through. You don't know their story. That woman, you just spoke about your friend. She did that because of what she was going through. She joined that because that was safety. You have no idea what someone's dealing with in their life. None whatsoever.
I respect that woman and not tomorrow. Like every time that I talk to her, I bow and put the red carpet because the cojones that woman have, I don't think most people prefer to stay than fight it.
Yep, for sure. Absolutely. So you've profiled tons of people, negotiated with unhinged people, influenced powerful people. What is the one truth about humans that rewired your entire identity?
Everybody's an asshole with this tuxedo.
I love your analogies.
I'm an asshole with a black dress and spiders, but only to be clear, my bracelet and my brooch matching. Everybody, okay, everybody's intelligent, everybody's nice, everybody's bad, everybody's willing to commit a crime, everybody's willing to do everything. Okay, tell me something. You have more than 2 glasses of wine and you shouldn't be driving and still to get the car. Have you ever cheated on your taxes? The law is done for the one who pay with a better tax lawyer. No, you're not the taxes. So I think it's the hypocrite that everybody pointing fingers. When people start pointing fingers, let's put it this way. I don't have time to be criticizing other profilers. I don't have time to be criticizing other associates on my business. Do your own due diligence. I'm too busy building business. I'm too busy helping people to do what they want to do. If you come into me and says, no, because my ex or my kids or my boss, like, you're not winning material. If you want to start a conversation blaming somebody else, let's blame yourself on the things that are not. When people says, I cannot do it, I have 5 questions. Why, how, when, what, and what the fuck is wrong with you? And people are like, we are so harsh. No. Let me tell you in my side. And when I met with clients, I says, I put a spill all the things on the table and says, let me tell you, I went through all those things. I questioned that in my marriage. I questioned it in my business. I questioned that so many times. I rebirthed myself so many times because you cannot keep knocking against a wall and keep going the wall. Sometimes you need to kill it on the wound. It's not working next. And sometimes the version that you have been living all your life is not working. You need to go next. The same way you kill a project, the same you demolish a house to build a better version. Sometimes you need to do with yourself. Own it. It's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I think everybody is everything. The definition of craziness, I think the better one is than doing the same every day and expect a different outcome. Because sometimes that works. Don't get me wrong. If you keep working, because let's rephrase that. Because every day I'm going to the gym, I haven't built a muscle. Guess what?
Yeah.
After a year, I fucking built a muscle. So I've been keeping the same craziness every day until I had conquered. If that everybody's a serial killer, everybody's a psychopath, a sociopath, lunatic, a loved one, a caring, an empath, and not an empath. We are all in one. It's how long we decide to stay there. You own your decisions, except you have an extremely high pathology, like you have chemical depression. I don't want to be simplifying. I really want to take really seriously because mental health happens when you don't have emotionally safety.
Right.
So going to TikTok telling you're depressed is only going to get people telling jump.
Yes.
Be careful. Emotionally safety, but everybody's willing to do everything. Everybody's willing to be depressed. They can be depressed. They don't want to be depressed. So you are everything. Denying your nature. You know the story about the frog and the scorpion, no?
Yep.
For the ones who doesn't know.
Yes, please do.
Fast.
Go ahead.
The frog and the scorpion were in one side of the river, and the river was floating. So the frog says, if we stay here, we're going to drown. And the scorpion says, I cannot swim, but I can defend you from the scorpion on the other side. And the frog says, are you sure you're not going to beat me? I'm not stupid. If I beat you, we will die. They were crossing the river, and guess what? Ding! The frog looked at the scorpion and says, why you beat me? It's my nature. Don't fight with your nature. Just put a Kevlar on the frog, so your instinct doesn't want to get bitten. I don't know what people fight so far with who they are.
Because they don't want to own the parts of who they are, certain parts. They're scared to look at them. They don't want to see them. They don't want to admit they're there. That's why.
I think when you learn to be fine with yourself, the pandemic was a discovery point for a lot of people. I don't know what you, Brad, but you rediscovered. How many people rediscover careers and things and loves? I needed to get across to my demons. I never was so afraid to be by myself, and I never enjoyed so much. I found things about myself. I make a huge change. I fire friends, family, clients, and employees, and I've never been happier. Why? Because I was extremely unhappy and so busy convincing myself that I wasn't. I was up here with so many people in my field that I was under the impression that I admired them. And when I met them, oh my God, I throw up in my own mouth every day. And I says, what the heck I'm doing with this person? I don't want to be with this person anymore. I was doing a show. I quit the show. I decided to stop the show. I stopped picking up calls and I stopped hanging with a lot of people. Happy.
Yes.
Better.
It's about taking the time for yourself to reflect. And you're right. I think 2020 opened a lot of people's eyes to what's possible, what they will and won't put up with. It gave people time to take a look within and look at themselves and say, I'm really not fucking happy living this way. This is not the way that life should be lived. I'm not happy at this job. I'm not happy doing this. I need to make a change. And that was the perfect opportunity. It gave people an opportunity to slow the fuck down and look at themselves and look within.
When people say, oh, my people would divorce because of the pandemic, no, it's because they wake up and they say, oh my God, you are until I did I die like 10? No.
Yeah.
So they made people confront with things that were avoidance because there were too much noise and they were too busy and they have too much noise.
Yeah.
And the problem is when in the middle of the noise, you need of light to stop, but you forced to be silenced. Not only you stop, you force yourself to be silent. I forced myself to be silent and it was the best thing ever. We need another pandemic. Every 3 or 4 years, we need 6 months. I don't ask more than 6 months. And I want to be careful because now we have a huge assurance of a huge flu. Then everybody says the new COVID-19. I don't know. And I don't want to I want to be extremely respectful. I lost people from that. Is that we need, why? Because I think that we're coming better. So crisis is a chance to become better. I am a better version of myself. I talk with you and you share the same. So I don't want to do it public if I don't want to do it. You made malt and I wouldn't have malt if I wouldn't be moving in the first. And finally one kind of matching my dress. So what happened with that is that sometimes we need to stop and smell the roses.
Yes.
And I don't want to be like corny or cheap, but there are people when you wake up in the morning and the water is not hot enough. People need to walk 5 kilometers of 10 miles to have clean, decent kind of water. Some people sleep on the floor and you complain because you haven't changed the mattress. You don't like your car because it's not as the next door neighbor. Some people need to walk for 4 hours each way to go to school and receive decent education. I think that we lost the track. And maybe the fact that I'm coming from South America and I live in Europe and I see so much human and physical poverty, I bless every morning that I wake up and I wake up half an hour early, play with my 6 cats. Then I adopt them because 6 of them they were supposed to put to sleep because they had a behavioral problem. Can you see the behavioral problem that she has? So I love my friends. I love the people that I work with. I love the chance to like people like you, Brad says, we jump on a call for something else. Says, oh my God, you're hilarious. If it's fit for the show.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for people who give you a platform. I'm grateful for the people who let me show who I am. So I know who you're not going to be working with. And that's it. My cat jump in my lap. Like that's my life. So welcome to my life.
It is. It's about gratitude. But do you think, Susan, so I've thought about this a lot with the pandemic and people I think they were kinder. There was more empathy. There was more sympathy for our fellow humans. But I think that since we've come out of this, because I think this is part of human nature. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I don't have all the answers, by the way.
No, but you work in, this is your area of expertise, but once we're going through something and we have the empathy, but once we get on the other side of it, it's like, it's just our nature to go back to what we were, what the comfort of what things were. I find that there's people that are, I think, even bigger assholes since we've come out of COVID.
Yeah. Assholes took the assholes, sleep on the mouth. Yeah. So pandemic, I think it took a lot of filters and it took a lot of pink and shiny ball syndromes and showed people who really they are. I have someone who was an patient. He was my best friend. He was an asshole. He teach empathy to others. And he was the biggest asshole I ever met. I never met someone so cruel, so unempath, so selfish. And one day I need to say, enough is enough. That's it.
Yeah.
People who call to you for support all the time. And when you call them back, I was too busy for you. Oh, okay. So I think you show a real colors and other people, but most important, if you don't see the real colors in yourself, you have a huge problem.
Yes.
I own it. That's the reason I always start. Let me tell you what I learned. Because not because it's about me, it's because I'm nobody to point to somebody else if I don't own it first.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I can say is one of my neighbors, he wear a thin foil hat, like literally, he's nuts. The other one is a dude. The other one is a dude that is retired and complain to the police that I don't use a bra inside my house. What we do is we get with the girl, with the police complaint. So what I met with my friends and says, we put thin foil hats, we go outside, say hello to a neighbor, and we go outside with white t-shirts without bra to the next door. You give me lemons, give me vodka. You give me lemons, give me vodka. Let's do lemonade. Just make sure that we get wasted in the meantime, so I don't need to deal with your shit. That's it. So we are who we are. Everybody have their own things. Everybody's happy in their own delusional. Guess what? Yeah, my brain doesn't tell my body that I'm turning 54 and 13 things I don't need to do. I get these 6 cats and my lawyer says we need to redo the will. Like, why? You understand when these cats die, you're going to be 70. Like, what? Yeah, you can die before. What is going to happen with the cats? Now you depress me. I didn't want to deal with it really. Like, oh my God, you're right. What is going to happen with them?
Yeah.
If I die first, because Mama's crazy. Yeah, I know, Mom. I love it too. So those are the realities that we don't want to confront, but you need to confront your own realities. Before you fix something, you need to own it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you need to admit it's there. You need to see it.
When my therapist says, after 11 months of evaluating, and says, your soon-to-be ex-husband had borderline narcissist, my first question is, why the fuck I'm with him? And he says, now we have a solution. Second question, how long can I play with him? Now we're going to have fun. He says, you're fucked up. Oh, yeah. Now is my time to have fun. And I stayed for more 2 years only to research and learn about him and how fucked he was. That wasn't normal. But my first question is why I am with him. What I do need to fix about myself, then I'm with him. So I cannot blame him for being crazy. Is why I am with the crazy. And I understood because I'm a fixer and that I decide 15 years ago, I'm going to make a career fixing people. I will not going to do it for free anymore. Here I am making money with it.
There you go. As mentioned off the top, you're the author of Irrational Humans. That
you're going to become a book.
Yes. Can you tell us all about it? Tell us all the things.
We have the perception that we're rationals, and this is not my theory. Somebody else, and actually another researcher, a psychologist, talking about irrationality. Just find out this. When I found out the domain is not registered, like nobody registered Irrational Humans. Like, you must be kidding me. That is mine. It's gonna be my tagline. So Kahneman and Charles win the Nobel Prize in 2002 in psychology and economics for the first time, understanding the traditional way people think is not the way they think. We think on a way, okay, now we have vodka. But you're not matching with my clothing. You're not suited to be here. She nibbled. So they found out that we are not rational. You see? He said, she nibbles. I'm not your mama. Don't, please. I'm your grandmother. So they found out that the economy is not traditional. People don't make decisions traditionally. We have a left brain and we have a right lane. And the most decisions we do are irrational. So I got fascinated, and I have the luxury to meet Dr. Paul Sack, the one who talked about oxytocin and things. I was introduced by him through a friend, and we start talking and says, more my theory, and says, Susan, I think you should go to study behavioral economics. I think that says, but I'm a profiler. Like, you're not a profiler. You are a people watcher. And you are more on the side of behavioral economics than you are on the psychology. I think that is a reason you didn't decide to go back to psychology. So I went back to do my master with amazing people in Europe. I love Mercedes. I love Ignacio, the CEO of the university and the director of the career, because it was for them. I would quit because I cannot do it. I can do it. And They give me the extensions and help me and push me forward. The best students, the best student on the class, the best teachers, the best on the top of the cream. And I realized they're right. I'm in the behavioral economics, and people are irrational. If I hear the music to matching with the wine, really I'm going to be buying more wine? No, that is the essence. We blame magic. We blame the moon to be retrospective.
Retrograde.
Retrograde.
Yeah.
We call the horoscope. By the way,
Yes.
I found horoscope is mathematical and physical formula. It's way more complex. I will not gonna criticize horoscope. I'm learning about that and like way more complicated science like astronomy.
Yep.
So Susan, on the pocket. You see, I learned something new. I own it.
Yeah.
That we cannot keep blaming the weather. And even though the weather has a lot to do with depression, we cannot start blaming and pointing out other people. We are irrational. As soon as we understand that, life gets so easy because you stop blaming, you stop penalizing, and you start moving forward.
But that also means looking at yourself, looking within and accepting and owning your shit. Hello.
Oh my God.
You have to accept responsibility, right?
What is that? I'm sorry. Most people don't understand. The R word is rated what?
Responsibility. People don't want to do that, though. They don't want to admit they fucked up, or they don't want to admit that they're part of the problem.
Nope. Everybody's part of the problem.
Of course.
Me being a bitch is part of the problem because I don't give you a slack. You putting people like me are part of the problem because now you put people aware about it. So everybody's part of the problem.
Yes.
So every solution have a problem. Every problem have a solution. Choose and pick. The life is too short to be complaining.
You're right. Absolutely.
Choose and pick. Live your life because guess what? As soon as you live your life, then when you want it. Okay, let's put it. I'm going to turn around.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you a question. Yeah. Why the path you choose to be talking together today? How many failures took you to the right path?
Oh, tons. I don't even look at them as failures. I look at them as lessons, as teachings. It's all part of our journey. All of these things, all of these paths that we've taken, these different directions that we've gone in, they've led us to where we are today. The mistakes I've made along the way has led me to where I am today. It has made me who I am because I've learned from those lessons and taken the lessons forward to get to where I am today. Am I going to be doing this 10 years from now? I don't know. Who the fuck knows? But this is where I am today.
What you regret the most? To doing the mistake or not do it?
I don't have any regrets, actually, because it's part of my path. It's gotten to me where I am today. It's all part of the journey. If I didn't make that mistake, whatever it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I wouldn't be here where I am today. Each part of our journeys or each mistake or each lesson that we've learned takes us to that next step to where we are. I don't have any regrets about mistakes I've made because they've helped shape who I am.
What are 3 things about mistakes that you didn't know that now you can give a lecture about it?
3 mistakes that I could speak about.
3 things that you learn about mistakes that now you can give a lecture about it.
That they help us get to where we are today, that they teach us about ourselves, and that how they benefited me.
How you are. This is what the podcast is about. That's the reason you start the podcast. Yeah. That's the reason you have people that is different. You never had a profiler. Now you're going to have a couple because they look on your podcast like, oh yeah, let's talk about it.
Yep.
Because you talk about the people behind the title. You talk about the people behind all this thing that as soon as by still wearing socks, I don't wear any high heels. Hey, I'm on vacation. So that's how much I can put away.
That's all right.
No, that is true. Is learning. You start this podcast because you learn from those things. And you go to the deep on, okay, what you learn from that. When today I made a mistake, I was late 4 minutes and I was getting there, turning the lights because I was a client. And it says, I'm so sorry, Brad. I like, you weren't there. Yeah, I'm here. Is it? You didn't spend any time with giving me a hard time. Like, you're here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Smile on the face and let's go. I think life is about that. And that is where the place is. Do we need Joe Rogan? Yeah. Do we need all those podcasts? But we need Brad's too.
Thank you.
Where we can talk about simple things and not only things that are super commercial or, the success, I'm getting a book and I have 5 companies, like blah, blah, blah. What the fuck about the woman, the little kids that are still crawling in the bed? Because guess what? I still crawl in bed in the morning. And sometimes I don't want to be an adult and I don't want to get up. Why? Because people have expectation from this. The risk of this avatar is the people, you're okay. Nobody going to ask Susan how she doing. Why? Because she can do it. She always do it. She's a badass. Guess what? This badass want to crawl in bed like everybody else and says, I don't want to be an adult. I just want to be in bed with my cat, close the curtain and be susceptible. I want to be down today. And this avatar, this armor that we put doesn't allow us.
Yeah, absolutely. No, so what? You relate. Life happens. Shit happens. And I want to highlight, yes, of course, I want to talk about the work you do, but more importantly, I want people to hear your story, hear the human side of you, who you are on your worst days, who you are on your best days. Yes.
I'm a human.
Contrary to popular belief.
They didn't exist.
That's what it's about. It's just about having conversations, open conversations, to give an opportunity to women to share who they truly are. Yes, you've got all this. You've got the career. You've got the titles. That's great. Sure. But who is Susan, the woman behind all of that shit? Who is she on her worst day? Who is she on her best day?
The why and how. The why and how you ended up where you ended up. Okay, where you are now is your destination. You choose your destination. But is the trip that make you better or worse?
That's right.
Is the trip that get you there?
Yes, exactly. And that's what I want to share. That's what I want to talk about. How the fuck did you get here? What brought you here? What makes you Susan? That's the important piece.
What do you think about the hero journey?
Yeah.
Do you think it's oversold? Is real? Because I have conflicted decisions with it. When people ask me, "You have the hero journey?" Like, no, I don't believe I don't believe how the hero journey is sold. I do believe on the concept, but I don't believe on the implementation.
We hear about it a lot. It is becoming more and more popular and more talked about. I would tend to side with you on that. I would agree with what you're saying. That, yeah, we all go through our journeys, but I don't know.
I think we romanticize the concept that it need to be pain in order to, and actually the pain can be avoided by learning. There's a lot of things on the hero journey that can be different, but it doesn't need to be you have cancer, you lose a limb, you lose a kid. No, sometimes it's not that traumatic. It's not a competition who had it worse. It's just what resonate with the people is not going to resonate with everyone. Not everybody's Oprah Winfrey. No. Not everybody's Tony Robbins. No. Not everybody's Brad. Not everybody's Susan. We have different realities.
I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier about just embracing your shit, just owning it. And that's your unique journey. That's what makes you who you are, is the journey that you went through. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to be this big fucking dramatic thing. You are who you are because of what you've been through, where you're going, and owning your fucking shit.
Something that I discovered working with police and working with hostage negotiation and things like that is something that I don't have too many papers, and I start finding papers about it and talking with people that study. So sometimes you need to take academia out of the university and put it on the street. PTSD has nothing to do with trauma, has to do with the resilience for the trauma you have. Long story short, I cannot go deeper. I got shot in my abdomen. And I don't talk about it, not because it was a trauma, it's because for me it wasn't a trauma. And like people, what? Yeah, I got shot in the abdomen with a 22, thing got cauterized. I went to the hospital, I put myself, I went back to where I was my post and get a password, give by my person who hired me, come back and finish my job. I'm like, are you okay? They shot me because I was doing a good job. Next.
Wow.
Says, oh my God, I cannot drive because I was in a passenger in an accident. Like, what? So I have PTSD for losing, I need to put to sleep my 2 cats because one of them was depressed. I have PTSD for that because I feel guilty. The second one died because he was depressed and I didn't trust my guts. I have PTSD. I still have nightmares with that. Like, for a short time, like, no, that was work. And people are like, I don't fucking care about the cats. I have an accident and I cannot sleep because I'm PTSD. So never, ever try to measure someone with your story. Don't compete with pain. Don't compete with what other people going on. Okay, you stop playing. Thank you. Stop. So don't compete with other people. Pain stories. Don't try to your story be more painful. Don't try to be the center of the attention. Like your story is not my story. My story is not yours.
Yeah.
I cannot measure your pain, your triumphs, anything with what you have done and what I have done. If the person is depressed, don't ask why. It's how they ended up there. It's not why you're depressed and how that affecting you so much that you get depressed.
Yeah.
We have mental health on the fucking trash.
Yeah.
Stop it. We don't have fishes reproducing because of the amount of antidepressant. I don't say we don't need it. We need to start putting things on a box and labeling everyone. Oh, if you're not fixing in the DSM-5, I use this as toilet paper. I'm not autistic. I'm Asperger. I don't have anything to do with autistic people. So part of my French, I don't trust that. I don't even allow my insurance to put me then I'm autistic. I'm Asperger and I fight for it. Do not measure other people based on you. Don't measure what they're going through and try to do the same mistake to get the same outcome. We can put 5 people on the same room, on the same environment, and all of them are going to do something different.
Yeah.
So PTSD is one of the things that like, oh my freaking God. We're so used to surviving mechanisms.
Yes.
Therefore, for you is terrible. For me, that was childhood.
Yeah, you can't compare your story to someone else's. There is no comparison.
Nope.
It's pointless. It's my story's worse than yours and all this bullshit. No, that story for that person is bad for them. Like you said, it may not be bad for you, but for them, it's hell. And that's okay. That's their struggle. But you can't compare the two. And this is what we do as humans. We compare all the time. Why is this person so far? I'm on this trajectory, and why is this person so far ahead of me? And they're different. They got their different. You can't compare. But
why you need to make it alike? What about if you have to learn, Brad, for the difference with that person? Why we need to agree? Let's agree to disagree.
Yes.
That is the best conversation ever. If you want to leave some of his best people, let's go back to the beginning. Let's talk.
Yeah.
That is one of my classes. It says, the best thing I can give you is one of the best advice, learn to listen in silence, not to win the argument, but to learn from the argument. And it's not an argument. It's a mental sparking where you're going to learn something you didn't know. And in order to do that, shut the fuck up.
That's part of the problem, is that people always want to push their opinions on everyone else. They don't listen. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a fucking reason. Use these more than you use this. Listen and be curious. Like you said earlier, how did you arrive at this? Worry about that. How did you get here? How did you form this opinion? Why do you have this belief? What have you been through that led you to believe that? That's what I want to know. You don't go in to change someone's mind. Go in to listen. And
do you know you have sub caption where it was this, the word silence and listen, they have the same amount of letters. You said right. The same quantity of letters. Choose which one you're going to use.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If 95% of humans are irrational, what's the irrational behavior that secretly becomes an advantage in influence?
Play dumb. Play dumb. Learn to know what is your turn and when it's somebody's turn. Learn to let it go. Pick up your fights. Just stop fighting to try to be likable to people who doesn't like you. First impressions has nothing to do with you. People will decide if they like me or not as soon as they turn on. It has nothing to do with all the conversation and all the nuggets that you can have. Believe me, there were a lot. So if you want to do this for the interest, this podcast have nuggets that no fucking therapy is going to pay for. So stick for it. It's long, painful, but worth it. Like the first time. Be there. So now you have the intro for your podcast. But people is going to decide in the beginning if they like me or not, no matter what we say on the back. They already make the decision.
Yeah.
First impression has nothing to do with you. First impression has to do with your story, with your smell, your senses. Your senses has so much to do. So the brooch, that is so aggressive. You have a spider, like, because you haven't seen the one I have tattooed in the back of my head, or the skull and I have in my ass. Own it. So there's so many things where people is going to criticize without knowing who you are and don't care about who you are. People make assumptions all the time. They label people, because if I label you as crazy, if you're crazy and I'm different than you are, I am not crazy. I feel happy about yourself. Like, what about if you use the label wrong? You're fucking nuts and I'm the only normal in this room. Let's define normal. I can switch every situation you answer. Bring it on. That's what I do for a living. But I think that people need to be more aware that we're all irrational. We are all normal and not normal. Define your own rules and live by those.
I love it. What is one of the simplest questions you can ask someone that instantly reveals who they really are beneath all the armor?
What you have done since you opened your eyes until we met?
I took my dog for a walk. I came back home. I showered. I made a coffee. I sent an email, and I came down here and got on the call with you.
No.
No?
I'm more interested in the things that you avoid to say. I make a coffee instead to made a coffee. You have something else beside coffee, no?
Water.
Okay, we know. Okay, great. So I know that something else going on. It's not only coffee because you use the present tense instead to made. So I says, tell me what you have done since you open your eyes, and you jump to I walk the dog. So I don't know. I'm not going to do the intimate, but if you're sleeping with somebody else, something fun happened or something not fun happened. So now I know what to eat. So what you see how simple is the question?
Yeah.
Be careful who you reply to, because you make a special effort to avoid it. And okay, you take a shower after you walk the dog. I have so many questions there. And you make sure that you individualize your actions where nobody was integrated in those actions. That means that somebody else was part of those actions. You send an email, one email, I don't believe. You read many, but you find only one email to be important. The other one can wait. Or they require a little more of your time. So one email, I don't know what it was. That email, I don't think it has to do with work completely, but it has to do with your source of urgency and urgency and emergency and urgency. But nobody sent one email. I went through my mailbox, I read all this junk food, and I decide to reply to one. So it's more behind what you says. So don't try to be the most intelligent person in the room. Do the stupid questions, and people are going to tell so much.
I love that. Thank you very much for that, Susan. I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's what a profiler teaches. To make this a stupid question, like, it says people don't expect that.
No.
Oh, that's it. So when you met someone in a networking, sometimes the most stupid says, okay, what is the coworker you hate the most in this room? And people are like, what? He says, come on, look that bitch. You cannot wear white after September the 1st. What is she thinking about? Common enemy is my friend. Yeah. Look, be interested to be interested in somebody else and look for commonality, a common enemy. If we both hate this cup, meaning that we have the same sense of belonging, the same sense of rightness. So that's the reason get people together when they hate someone. People get together when they're happy. That's what people get together when they fear together. Those are the things, the Stockholm effect. When we fear together, we stay together because we embrace together. So we need to understand that all these things happening because nobody do the right questions. What you have done since you opened your eyes until we met.
I have to remember that. I love that. If someone wants to start developing profiling skills, what's one exercise they can practice every day to sharpen observation?
Be critical of what you put in your McDonald's. This is my McDonald's. Read about people you agree and read about people you disagree. Be careful with their knowledge and their comment. I still have people saying, oh, yeah, if you use the number 3 in the conversation, you lie. No, tell me one thing. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D. We use 3 things. Even in decoration, we use 3 things. So number 3 is a comfortable number for our brain. Crossing the arms doesn't mean I'm not paying attention. Like I cross and, oh, really? Tell me more. I got you. Now, really? So look into the right, look into the left. Question what I say today. Question what I didn't say today. Question what are the little nudges you can take. Question absolutely everything. They control you, they manipulate you when it's only one way to do things. When you find different way, it's no way to manipulate you because you have your own way. When you give your thoughts, when you give your learning, when you give your paths to somebody else, you lose control of your life. And that's where they manipulate you. And you're easy to manipulate as everybody else. So challenge everyone. Challenge what you see on the mirror, even though it's yourself.
Ask questions.
Like what you did since you opened your eyes. Every time that I see you, I'm going to give you a hard time with that. Because you're going to start asking that question much right now.
I am. Thank you for that. Thank you for planting that seed.
No, we actually, behind the scenes, I'm going to tell you more about that and why it's so important.
Yes.
The most important is not what people say, it's what they are going to say. And another thing, if I can give you only one tip, do you know what is a compound question, Brad?
No.
You don't need to know it. It's using more interrogation. If I says, hey, what time do you wake up when you have for breakfast? You can choose what to answer, but I can use it to decide what you avoid to answer too.
Wild.
If you don't know what you do and don't do it, but if you want to see what people are avoiding, give them more questions, the options, the answer to see what is the order of things. Okay, I'm going to put you back on the sack.
Okay.
Ewan.
Yep.
Tell me the three most important things in your life.
My family, my dog, and my business, my career, my job, the work I do.
You learn to treasure your family and you haven't done it before. You enjoy the simple things like walking with your pets, and you're in the process of developing your business to what is going to be happening.
Wow. That's wild. All from the things I didn't say.
Yes. And the order you give the things. To me, why people says, why you have a podcast with the cats? What they jumping like, it's all my life. If you don't like it, this is free. When you pay for it, I'm going to put my cats on the room. But in the meantime, they're going to be on the room. In the same way, you give the people the chance to promote and the people to listen to people that are not going to have access. In the meantime, that's life.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is what people says and not saying. Be careful how you ask questions. The questions are more important than the answers. If I ask why you have that horrible picture instead to ask, oh, what is about that picture? About that picture, you're going to say what I'm going to say. Now, have a horrible picture. You already know that I hate the picture. So you need to justify the what is horrible or why you have it. Questions are more important than the answers. So if you need to learn something, be more intelligent in what you do with those questions.
Ask questions. I love it. When you strip away the titles, the accomplishments, what's the deepest or deeper mission that you're really fighting for?
To survive every day, like everybody else. To survive myself, to get a better version, and not to get on the pine box too soon because I was too stupid. I don't get too late. My grandmother went 103 and 95, so I don't know if I want to be. Yeah, that based on that measurement, I still have 50 more years to be piecing people off. That can be a good incentive.
That could be, absolutely. If everything you know about influence, power, behavior in the human mind had to be reduced to one sentence, your final mic drop sentence, what would that say?
Everybody have a back door. Just found the way to get it. Not everybody going to get on the red carpet. Not everybody is going to get on the right place. Just get inside. And when you're there, look for your path.
What is one thing a listener could do within 10 minutes of listening to this episode that would shift their communication and their influence?
Listen in silence. Make better questions. Pay attention to what people is saying. Don't pay attention what you're going to be rerouting answer a question. Just pay attention. Make more questions. People talk. People don't listen.
What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
I don't fucking care. I stopped caring. And that's when, okay, it is what it is. Take me and leave me. And guess what? That's when people start happening. It's not that I have a potty mouth. It's I let you know before I open my mouth and I don't fucking care.
Love it.
And guess what? It's a lot of people who doesn't care and they jump on the wagon.
How do you define success, Susan?
Waking up happy Monday morning.
What does the word empowerment mean to you?
To be able to get out of the crawling position and keep going.
Okay, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire section. So the next grouping of questions just be 1, 2, 3 word
You didn't
answer.
tell me. I don't have my one ready. Come on, bring it on.
What is your favorite place on earth?
Home. That is the difference between house and home. Home is where your heart. House is where you have your clothing hanging. doesn't mean what is on the planet. Right.
I love it. I'm just loving this conversation, Susan. It's just amazing and so inspiring and just raw and authentic. It's everything that conversation should be. What is one of your secret or hidden talents?
I don't care. Like, I really don't care. So when you stop caring, people cannot hurt you. People hear you with the thing you care. I do care for the people I love, but if I don't know you, you make a comment on Instagram, you're annoying. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Listen, people talk. It's not what you think, it's what other people are saying.
What is one of your guilty pleasures?
My cats.
As one pops up. And which one is that?
This is malt.
Malt.
My cats, a glass of wine, and a cigarette in my sandroom, even though I shouldn't.
What is one word that sums up your mindset?
Get your shit done.
One book that changed your life?
Oh, Alex says The Prince from Machiavelli. I understood that somebody else was as twisted as I was 300 years ago, so I'm clinically safe.
One word that defines the woman you are becoming?
Brazilian.
Beautiful. That concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. What is one habit, ritual, or practice for you that has been a game changer in your personal growth?
Wake up. If I don't have any meetings, I let the alarm goes because my ROI is my sleeping quality. Wake up 5 o'clock in the morning doesn't make you more successful. Waking up at the time your body needs to wake up is make you successful. So if I don't have a meeting, I wake up at the time I need to wake. I take if I have 20 minutes playing with my cat, listening music and not pick up the phone, that dopamine and oxytocin every morning has changed my life forever. I come up, the last trip I did to London, I come up early because I was missing
I love that you said that because we've got this bullshit hustle culture that has been indoctrinated. You have to, the 5 a.m. club, you got to get up at 5 a.m. You got to do all this thing before everyone else gets up to be successful. It's all bullshit.
The people who's too busy posting how successful they are, leaving a space for the ones who are doing the things.
Yes.
I don't have time to post what I do in the mornings. Why? Because I'm too busy doing it. I don't have time to criticize others because I'm too busy making money.
So, Susan, if you were to introduce yourself to me without mentioning your occupation, where you're from, your ethnicity, your religion, all of these bullshit day-to-day markers that we use in everyday life, how would you introduce yourself to me?
Hi, I'm Susan, a curious cat. So tell me something that can fulfill that need.
If you could step into my shoes, what is one question you would have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
Actually, David says not to make you feel good. It's one of the best interviews. So
wow.
I think that, you even allow me to ask you questions. Usually people don't play that game. So you have a real gorgeous and gregarian post. So that says a lot to you.
Thank you very much. I received that. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. If you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
La Cruz or Elizabeth, the Queen of Golden Years.
And why those two?
La Cruz did one of the poems that I love the most. People don't know I love poems. I love Becker. I love Oscar Wilde. So Juana Inés de la Cruz, she denied her own existence in order to be successful. And I think I did that for a long time. She dressed as a man to study astronomy, every art and science in Mexico. She became one of the best poetries ever. If you ever have, for the ones, if you can just, men's, you accuse women to be the sin when actually you are the fruit of the sins they have been committed. So in order to get to that, I have goosebumps. She denied her existence to have an existence.
Holy shit.
She ended up being a nun because she says, okay, I'm gonna rescind to any desire, to anything in life to become what I want to become. And she was penalized by that. And Elizabeth, the Golden Years, obviously, she was the longest on the kingdom. And she was the woman who says, I do not agree with the laws. I don't need the church. I don't need to get married. I'm going to do my things my way or the highway. That is going to be my answer when I die. I did it my way by Frank Sinatra. So.
I love it. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Bitch, own it. Stop crying. It's going to happen. Just the time you waste crying and start running. Sweat it, detox it on the brain, keep going. Stop crying. Oh my God, I spent too much time whining because I pay attention to the wrong people saying, you're not going to do it, now you're going to do it. That's delete me time that I shouldn't have. Like, keep going. Just stop. Keep going. The worst thing that happen is you're going to fail. Already, you're running for failure. So if you fail, at least you tried on the middle. So
that's right.
When you're running from failure. Okay, guys, whatever is your denomination, I don't care what is your color. When you're running from something, you're already failing. That's the reason you're running. So the worst that can happen is you run into another failure. So you learn something else. Don't be afraid. Keep moving. Keep going.
Love it. Lastly, Susan, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your corner of the world, your tribe, your people, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
Stop being paying attention so much to what other people says and start paying attention to what you're saying. Because I think everybody's so busy yelling that nobody been paying attention what you have to say. What if what you says is wrong because the other person is right? And because the other person is right doesn't mean you're wrong, and vice versa.
Food for thought. I love that. Susan, thank you so much. I have so enjoyed every minute of this conversation. It has been absolutely beautiful, powerful, inspiring, insightful. I am just so grateful to have had the opportunity to sit down and speak with you and share in your story and your journey and the incredibly beautiful light you put out into the world through all the work you do. I appreciate you. I am grateful to call you a friend, to have you now as a member of the Empowerography community. Thank you so much for your time.
I cannot wait to get together and get all these things running. People watching in a bar, we need to play that game.
Absolutely.
And do the question. Let's do the question.
Yes. Thank you so much, Susan. This has been such an amazing conversation. Once again, my name is Brad Welsh, host of your Empowerography podcast, a platform that was created to help elevate and amplify the voices of women through sharing their stories. Today, my guest has been Susan Ibitz. She is an author, the researcher of Irrational Humans. She is also a former political influencer, political influence consultant, profiler, civilian hostage negotiator with expertise and studies and masters in human behavior economics and neuroscience. And she's just a badass. So thank you so much, Susan. I appreciate you. Have an amazing rest of your day.
Likewise.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca, follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast, and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.